युहन्तः प्रविश्योमवाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चापि व्रता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. We did the first three verses of Subrahmanya-bhujanga in the previous class. We'll start with the chanting of those three and then continue. Sada balarupapi vighnadrihantri mahadanti vaktrapi panchasya manya vidhindradi-mrigya ganeshabhidhami vidhattam shriyam kapi kalyanamurtihi najanami shabdyam najanami padyam najanami gadyam najanami shabdam najanami chartham chideka shadasya hrididyotate me मुखान्निस्सरन्ते गिरश्चापि चित्रम् मयूराधिरूढं महावाक्यगूढं मनोहारिदेहं महच्चित्तगेहं महीदेवदेवं महावेदभावं महादेवबालं भजे लोकपालम्. We did up to this in the previous class. Now we will take on the fourth verse. Yada sannidhanam gata manavami Yada sannidhanam gata manavami Yada sannidhanam gata manavami Bhavam bodhitiram gataste tadaiva Bhavam bodhitiram gataste tadaiva Bhavam bodhiparam, right? Oh, sorry. Bhavam bodhiparam gataste tadaiva Bhavam bodhiparam gataste tadaiva Bhavam bodhiparam gataste tadaiva Iti vyanjayan sindhu tire ya aste Iti vyanjayan sindhu tire ya aste Iti vyanjayan sindhu tire ya aste Tamide pavitram parashakti putram Tamide pavitram parashakti putram Tamide pavitram parashakti putram Tam aham ide. So ide means I praise. Tam ide pavitram parashakti putram. Parashakti putram so refers to Subrahmanya here. Parashakti is a term that is employed to refer to Parvati. So Parashakti Putram, and the other phrase that is employed is Pavitram. So Pavitram Parashakti Putram. Aham ide. Now this verse seems to have been composed keeping one of the temples of Subrahmanya in mind. There are 6 temples which are considered quite significant, and they in Tamil they will call Arupadai Veedu. Okay? So this is a phrase that is employed in Tamil. So of the 6, 5 of them are on the hilltop. One is on the seashore. The one which is in seashore, the place is called Tiruchendur. Tiruchendur. So this is on the seashore. It is a very, very famous temple in Tamil Nadu, down south. People go to Tuticorin and then they go to that place. So this temple is situated on the banks of sea. So perhaps Bhagavatpada, this is as old as that, this temple. Bhagavatpada keeps that in mind and then he says, Bhavam bodhiparam gataste tadaiva. Tadaiva gataha means instantly they have gone. Gone where? To the other shore of the samsara. Bhava refers to samsara here. So bhavayeva ambodhihi bhavambodhihi. The word ambodhi, ambha means water. So jaladhihi, udadhihi. So all are phrases referring to the ocean. So dhriyate. So dhiyante is also used. So ambhamsi dhiyante asmin means essentially all water comes and merges with the ocean. And therefore ocean happens to be the reservoir of the water. So the water, the entire water is held by ocean essentially, right? And then it circulates. So it goes in a cycle, showers as a cloud, then passes through the river, once again goes back to the ocean. This is what happens. So therefore ocean is described as udadhihi, jaladhihi, ambodhihi, all. Abdhihi. So all of them refer to ocean. Now he says, Bhavam bodhiparam gataste tadaiva. Te tadaiva bhavam bodhiparam gataha. Te means those people. Who are those people? He says in the first quarter, Yada sannidhanam gata manavami. Me means mama. Me sannidhanam yada manavaha gataha. Yada tada. So the moment people come to me, me sannidhanam means in front of me. Me sannidhanam manavaha yada gataha. Okay, whenever they reach, then he says, Bhavam bodhiparam gataste tadaiva. Tadaiva means instantly. Bhavam bodhiparam. Bhavaha samsara. Bhavayeva ambodhihi bhavambodhihi. Tasya param means they will be able to transcend the samsara. So samsara here basically refers to the cycle of pressures and pains. So the moment they come to the sannidhanam. So here the interesting thing is, Iti vyanjayan. He says vyanjana means indicating, suggesting. Vyanjayati. Iti vyanjayan sindhu tire yaaste. Sindhu also means ocean. Sindhu tire means on the banks of ocean. Yaha aste. The one who is residing on the banks of ocean. Iti vyanjayan sindhu tire yaaste tamide pavitram parashakti putram. Parashakti putram aham tam ide. So this gives us the hint that Śaṅkara-bhagavatpāda perhaps visited Tiruchendur and then itself there was a shrine in some form. Iti vyanjayan sindhu tire yaste tamide pavitram Parashaktiputram. Read. Yada sannidhanam gata manavami bhavam bodhiparam gataste tadaiva idivyanjayan sindhu tireya aste tamide pavitram parashaktiputram. The next verse also gives us an indication of the location of Subrahmanya. The fifth verse, he says, Yathabdhes tarangaha, Yathabdhes tarangaha, Yathabdhes tarangaha, Layam yanti tungaha, Layam yanti tungaha, Layam yanti tungaha, Tathaiva padaha, Tathaiva padaha, Tathaiva padaha, Sannidhau sevatam me, Sannidhau sevatam me, Sannidhau sevatam me, Iti vormi panktihi, Iti vormi panktihi, Iti vormi panktihi, Nrinam darshayantam, Nrinam darshayantam, Nrinam darshayantam, Sada bhavaye, Sada bhavaye, Sada bhavaye, Hrtsaroje guhantam, Hrtsaroje guhantam, Hrtsaroje guhantam. Aham sada bhavaye guham tam Hrtsaroje. Hrtsaroja. Saroja means lotus. Hrtsaroje. So in the lotus of my heart. Hrtsaroje aham guham bhavaye. Kada bhavaye, sada bhavaye. Okay. So I always keep Subrahmanya in my heart. This is what the last line says. Tam guham. Guha means Subrahmanya. Tam guham, that particular guha. Which guha? That description is presented in the first three quarters. Yathabdhes tarangaha layam yanti tungaha. The word taranga, so taranga means wave, okay, tarangaha. Abdhehe tarangaha means abdhihi. So in the earlier verse we had ambodhihi. Now we have the word abdhihi. Abdhihi is also udadhihi. Abdhehe tarangaha, the waves of the ocean. The waves of the ocean, they rise and then they fall down. Okay. Continuously it keeps happening. This tungaha refers to high tides. Tungaha tarangaha. In fact, tunga. There is a verse which begins with tunga. Tungam Veshma. See, Tungam Veshma, he says. Tungam Veshma means, so Veshma is Griha. See, somebody thinks I have a big house, palatial house. Tungam Veshma Sutaha. He further goes on. We'll come back to that later. See, here he says, Abdhehe tarangaha layam yanti tungaha. So how do you understand? Tungaha tarangaha yatha abdhehe layam yanti. Abdhehe tungaha. See, the tides go very high and then they submerge. Once again merge with the water. So they disappear rather. Okay. Similarly, apadaha. This tarangaha is like apadaha. Apadaha means various kinds of disturbing situations in life. This is what is called apadaha. Apat, apadau, apadaha. In fact, there is a prayer by Kunti. Vipadaha. Vipadaha, apadaha. Both are same. Vipadas santu nashashvat tatra tatra jagadguru. In fact, she prays Vipadaha santu naha shashvatu. So may we have vipat always. Why? She says, only then we will remember you. Okay. So only then we will remember you. Therefore, she prays Vipadas santu nashashvatu tatra tatra jagadguru. Okay. Now he says Tathaiva padaha sannidhau sevatam me sannidhau sevatam. It is a beautiful simile. The various kinds of difficulties and afflictions which come to people, okay, this coming up of difficulties is like the rising tide. And then the moment they come to the shore, what happens? They just disappear, right? So here Śaṅkara describes Subrahmanya. The moment they come to the shore to see you, okay, so all the apat of the people, they will just disappear. They will disappear. It is precisely to show this, as if you have generated the phenomenon of the entire tides. That is how the poet describes Itiva Urmi Panktihi. Urmi and Taranga, they mean one and the same. Panktihi means the sequence of waves. After all, in this creation, all things that are happening by the grace of Ishvara, a certain force which is responsible, for which you and I are not responsible. Therefore, you can say, in fact, in Upanishad we have this question. No? So, Vidhrita Bhumihi, who makes this earth stand? Who makes the moon move around the earth? See, all that, in the Gargi Prashna also we have these questions. So all this is happening because of some force, and you are responsible for that force, and therefore you make this happen, as if. Itiva urmi panktihi nrinam darishayantam. Iti urmi panktihi. So now he says, this phenomenon of the rising tides and then they submerging once into the ocean the moment they reach the shore, this phenomenon has been generated by you as if to teach the humanity that the moment they come and reach you, so all their apat will be gone. Okay? The rising tides in the form of difficulties will disappear the moment people come and reach you and worship you in the shore. So this is the poetic description. So tathaiva padaha sannidhau sevatam me. Me here means me sannidhau sevatam. Understand? So me sannidhau sevatam, those who worship. Okay, sannidhau. Sannidhau means in front of me. And Subrahmanya will be actually facing the ocean there. This is the east coast, in the southern part of Tamil Nadu. So there he is facing the east, and therefore the tides will come and then they will just disappear. Similarly, the moment people come to you, all their afflictions will be gone. Okay? Iti vormi panktihi iti bodhayitum urmi panktihi darshayantam iva. Iti bodhayitum. Kim bodhayitum? Apadaha layam yanti iti bodhayitum. Apadaha layamyanti iti bodhayitum urmapanktihi. So darshayativa. So he is residing on the bank of the ocean. Okay. Iti urmipanktihi. Iti bodhayitum urmipanktihi darshayantam. So that particular Subrahmanya sada bhavaye hritsaroje guhamtam. In fact, the verse which I was just saying, it also says, see, Tungam Veshma Sutas Satam Abhimadaha Sankhya-tiga Sampadaha Kalyani Daita Vayaschanavamit Vayaschanavamitya-jnana-mudha janaha Matva Vishwamanashwaram Nivishate Samsara-karagrihe Sandrishya-kshana-bhanguram Tadakhilam Dhanyastu sanyasyati. It's a beautiful verse. So this is basically what is stated is, see, the moment you get into samsara, you will be acquiring more and more and more, and the more you acquire, the more will be the trouble. The more you acquire, the more will be the trouble. So people keep doing this. See, people keep doing this. This is why he is saying, Tungam Veshma Sutas Sadam Abhimataha Sankhya-tiga Sampadaha. Sampadaha means the riches that I have is Sankhya-tiga means uncountable. Sankhya-tiga Sampadaha Kalyani Daita. See, I have a wife, so Kalyani. Okay. Vayascha Navam. So there are a lot more years for me to enjoy in the world. Vayascha Navamiti. In fact, just now somebody gave me a news. It was somewhat disturbing. Okay. So we think that, of course, we have to plan for future. So some vice chancellor of a university and his wife were traveling in a car, suddenly finished. Who knows? Kada kasya mrityu? Nobody knows. Anyway. So, Vayaschanavamitya-jnana-mudha janaha. That is why they say it is always good to do the dharma the moment you think. There is a nice verse which says, Vidya, you have to think that you are ever young in gaining vidya. In doing dharma, you should think as if you have been caught by Yama on your head. So this is how they do the upadesha. So here this Namatva Vishwam Anashwaram Nivishate Samsara Karagrihe. That is what essentially he says, Apadaha. So they get into samsara. Samsara karagrihe sandrishya kshanabhanguram sapadire. Sandrishya kshanabhanguram sapadire dhanyastu sanyasyati. Dhanyastu sanyasyati. So dhanyaha means those who are blessed. So those who are blessed, so they keep something for them and then they share with others. Sanyasyati. He leaves it. And then apadaha will naturally go. Okay. This is what he says. Read this. Yathabdhe-starangalayam yanti. Yathabdhe-starangalayam yanti tungaha. Tathaiva padasannidhau sevatam me. Iti vormi panktir nrinam darshayantam. Sada bhavaye hritsaroje guhamtam. That particular guha, aham hritsaroje sada bhavaye. See, sada bhavaye essentially means those who are bhaktas, they always commence their work by praying to Ishvara. And when it is happening, so they always have the feeling, it is all by grace, it is going on. And when it is over successfully, then also they will surrender it to Ishvara. Okay, that is why in Bhagavad Gita he says, no, Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasyaste sukham vashi. Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasya aste sukham vashi. So it is a beautiful saying in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so this is over. Then 6th verse. Girau man nivase, girau man nivase, girau man nivase, naraye dhirudhaha, naraye dhirudhaha, naraye dhirudhaha, tada parvate, tada parvate, tada parvate, rajate te dhirudhaha, rajate te dhirudhaha, rajate te dhirudhaha, idiva bruvan, idiva bruvan, idiva bruvan, gandhashaila dhirudhaha, gandhashaila dhirudhaha, gandhashaila dhirudhaha, sadevo mude me, sadevo mude me, sadevo mude me, sadashan mukhostu, sadashan mukhostu, sadashan mukhostu, girau man nivase. So in all these verses, so the 4th verse and the 5th verse, they refer to the temple of Subrahmanya on the banks of ocean. The description refers to it. So here in this verse, 6th verse, so he refers to Girihi. Girihi means mountain, a cliff. Okay. Himagiri Tanaye. Parvati will be described as Himagiri Tanaya. So now Girau Mannivase. Again, Mama Nivasaha Mannivasaha. So in the earlier verses also he was saying Me Sannidhau. Me Sannidhau there refers to Samudra Tira. So here Mannivase, wherever I reside. Where are you residing? Girau. Girau Mannivase. Nara yedhirudhaha. Adhirudhaha means climbed upon. Okay. Ye naraha adhirudhaha. So those people who have climbed upon the mountain where I reside. Girau Mannivase. Not any climbing. Girau Mannivase. Nara yedhirudhaha. Then tada parvate rajate te dhirudhaha. So parvata also refers to mountain. That is why we have the name Parvati. Parvati. It's a nice verse. Tam Parvati abhijanena namna. Tam Parvati Kalidasa. Tam Parvati abhijanena namna. Bandhu priyam bandhu jano juhala. Umeti matra tapaso nishiddha. Paschadumakhyam sumukhi jagama. Very beautiful verse. Yeah. Brilliant kalpana of Kalidasa. Kalidasa says, we call her Uma. Right? So her name is Parvati. How did the name Uma come about? Okay. So that is what Kalidasa says. Abhijana Nama means, so the lineage in which you come, Abhijana. Okay. So Parvati is her name because she was born to Parvata, Himavan. Okay. So this Abhijana Nama that which has come by lineage, he was growing, he says, day by day. Tam Parvati Abhijanena Namna Bandhu Priyam Bandhu Jano Juhava. Everybody was calling her with great love and affection as Parvati. Then Parvati, you have studied this, no? She decides to go in penance, okay, to obtain Shiva. So the moment she decided, Kalidasa says, her mother said, Mama, okay, Ma, don't go. Okay. So the moment the mother said, Ma, so then she became Uma. Okay, Umeti Matra Tapaso Nishiddha. Okay. The one who was prevented by the mother. Ma, is a word, exclamation word. Oh, don't do, we'll say no. Ma kuru umeti matra tapaso nishiddha. Paschat, after this event happened, Umakhyam sumukhi jagama. She acquired the name Uma later, he says. Anyway, so this Parvata, so here, Tada Parvate Rajate Te Dhirudha. This Rajate, there is a Kriyapada also, Rajate. See, Bhrajate, Rajate, it all means shines. We have the word Virajate also. But that is not here. We cannot understand the word Rajate to be a verb here. So it is a qualifier to Parvati. So Rajata means silver. So Rajatam means that which is resembling silver, made of silver, etc. Okay. Rajatam is silver, Rajatam means associated with silver. Okay. So Rajate Parvate, when you say, so the mountain is silver in color. So which mountain? You can only think of Kailasa. Okay. So that is Himagiri. So particularly in the morning you will be like glittering when the sun rays come. So Rajate Parvate, he says, the moment people come to worship me, climb upon this hill, this is equivalent to climbing upon, okay, the Kailasa itself. Tada Parvate Rajate Te Dhirudha Iti Vabruvan. In fact, this itself today, going to Kailasa, just think of. So it is considered a great achievement. See, you have to take a lot of effort and go there. Even in these, many of these temples, so there are about five of them are there. So we used to have that kind of a great joy, a sense of great achievement. So the moment you climb, in my childhood I have climbed that. There is one Swami Malai. Okay. The Swami Malai is near Kumbakonam. Okay. There is one Palani. So that is near Coimbatore kind of a thing. Okay. So these are all places where we have Subrahmanya residing Palani, Swami Malai, Tiruchendur is another place. All these places are known. So here he says, Yada me Parvati, okay, first Girau Mannivasi. So the moment you climb, so there is a sense of great fulfillment, achievement, and you are worshipping. So here he says, this climbing itself is almost like climbing the Kailasa. Girau Mannivase Nara Yedhirudha Tada Parvate Rajate Te Dhirudha. Te means Ye Adhirudha, Te Adhirudha. Iti Vabruvan. See, Iti Vabruvan, as if So as if he wants to convey this, he has gone upon and recited. Idiva Bruvan Gandhashila-dhirudha, the deity which has climbed upon the mountain and started residing there, wanted to say this as if. Then he says, Sadevo Mude Me, that particular deity, Sadevo Mude Me, Sada Shanmukhostu. Mude here means for the sake of happiness. Sadevo Mude Me, Sada Shanmukhostu. Saha Shanmukha Mude Me Astu. Sadevo Mude Me, Sada Shanmukhostu. So in the previous verse he was saying, Hrit Saroje Aham Tam Bhavaye. The moment you keep this Ishvara in your mind, in fact, there was a Upadesha which was given to me. I am reminded of this. Sada. So how do you do? Once I was, this is almost 45 years back, okay, the story. I went to a competition, Bhagavad Gita competition. So on the way, my father took me to a great elderly person. That his name was Subrahmanya, okay, Anna Subrahmanya. People may know, Tamil people who are in Tamil Nadu associated with Ramakrishna. He has written many translations of many of these works in Tamil. A simple, very, very simple person. He just, my father took me, and then I said, I took him to the competition. He has won prizes. I have brought him to take your blessings. He said, I did namaskara. Then he said, you say one verse. I was chanting one verse. In that Bhagavad Gita chapter, it came, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanus marayudhyacha. He says, Mayyarpita mano buddhihi mame vaishyat. So, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanus mara. This is what it says. So then Anna Subrahmanya was asking me, the boy, suppose you have to study, how will you remember Ishvara? Suppose you are eating, how will you remember Ishvara? Sarveshu kaleshu, how will you do? He was asking me. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara. And then he said, Yudhyacha also, fight. So, always remember me and fight. How is this possible? This is what he was asking me. I didn't know anything to say. So then he was saying, this Yudhya Cha essentially should be understood as Upadesha which is given to Arjuna. So the activity in which you have to engage at a particular moment. So Arjuna was supposed to engage in Yuddha. It is his karma there. So this Yudhya Cha should be understood by you as the karma in which you have to engage. Okay? So then he said, Sarveshu Kaleshu, how is it possible? When you are doing, you can't be thinking of me. So then he said, so any activity before you commence, so you say, make this activity happen successfully. Have that humble attitude. So leave the phala to Ishvara and then get on to the activity. Then when the activity is over, whatever phala comes, hey Ishvara, this is your prasada. So you take this. So if you do this, then at the beginning and at the end, in between also you keep praying. Okay? So this becomes Sarveshu Kaleshu. Kriyayaha Arambhe, Kriyayaha Madhye, Kriyayaha Avasane. Okay? So this Yudhya Cha should be taken as any activity that you are supposed to perform. So whether you study, whether you cook, whether you do puja, whether you invest in a business. So always, so sarvesh, so that is why here Sada Bhavaye. Sada Bhavaye means always I keep. And if you do this, then what happens is Mude. Muda. So modaha, see, sadevo mude me sada shanmukhostu. So if you do this, then you are always a happy man. Whatever comes, you will be able to accept. So that is the whole idea here. Iti vabruvan gandhashailadhirudha sadevo mude me sadashan mukhostu. In fact, these are beautiful places. See, Girihi, so Udadhihi. So these are all places. The moment you go there, okay, so then you will be automatically elevated. Whether Ambodhitire. So these are all nice descriptions. And particularly I remember, see, today maybe there is a lot of crowd, etc. etc. But almost in my school days, I have climbed these hills. It was not that kind of a populated. But if you just go, see, it's an amazing Marudamalai or Swamimalai. You just climb in the green, you just go on the chalk your path. So it's a beautiful trip that you have. So, and having gone there, if you see Darshana and then come back, so this is an amazing thing. So it is as if climbing, that's what he says. Read. Girau mannivasena raje dhirudha tada parvate rajate te dhirudha iti vabruvan gandhashela dhirudha sadevo mude me sadashan mukhostu. Iti vabruvan means iti bruvanniva. Bruvanniva means as if to teach, as if to communicate, as if to demonstrate. So he has gone and sat over there. Sadevo mudevi sadashan mukhostu. Sada me mude saha shanmukhaha astu. So that is the idea. Then Maham bodhitire mahapapachore Maham bodhitire mahapapachore Maham bodhitire mahapapachore Munindranupule sugandhakhya shaile Munindranupule sugandhakhya shaile Munindranukule sugandhakhya shaile Guhayam vasantam svabhasalasantam Guhayam vasantam svabhasalasantam Guhayam vasantam svabhasalasantam Janartim harantam shayamo guhantam Janartim harantam shayamo guhantam Janartim harantam shayamo guhantam. There are a lot of prasa. So prasa means shabda alankara. The same rhythm. Maham bodhitire mahapapachore Munindranukule sugandhakhya shaile. In the previous verse, we find the phrase Gandha Shailadhirudha. Gandha Shaila. Gandha Shaila, it's a bit difficult. We will not be able to associate as it is unless we find some concrete evidence. So there is a Gandhamadana Parvata. What they say? Gandhamadana Parvata is the range of mountains they call this, that which is there in the southern part of India. It is running through. We don't know what exactly he refers to. So here again he uses Sugandhakhya Shaile. Sugandha Ityakhya Shaila. Akhya means that which is described by the name. Akhya means name. Sugandha Ityakhya Sugandhakhya. Okay. Sugandhakhya Shaile. He says the Shaila is Munindranukule. Munindranam anukula. Munindranukula. So here the word Indra means foremost. So Muninam Indraha Munindraha. Okay. Muninam Indraha Munindraha. So Munindraha, in fact, Munindraha, Muni itself, so Mananashilaha Muni. So those who can close their eyes and contemplate on something. So they are Munis. Those who have the ability to contemplate. The foremost among them, that's what he says. Munindra. Tesham Anukula. Anukula means that which will be very convenient for them. So, home may not be convenient. Okay, somebody will disturb, phone will come, this will come, that will come. Various things will be there. So, if you go there and sit on the top of the mountain somewhere, okay, somewhere on the hills. So, this is a very Anukula Pradesha. So, Munindra Anukula. In fact, there is a nice verse, no? So the banks of the river, somebody says, a beautiful verse. Ganga Taranga Kanashikara Shitalani. Somebody, so this is one fellow advises the other fellow. Okay. So many times it just happens, some people get frustrated and irritated, and they also feel really despondent when the company badly treats them. Okay. Some reason it may happen. But I'll tell you, a few days back, when I was in the airport, some fellow was shouting for no reason. That fellow was shouting for that a person at the counter. So for some reason, the card that he was swiping did not work. So he gets irritated. And then he paid some money, and that person was saying that I don't have change. Then he starts shouting, your card doesn't work, you don't have change to give me, what are you running, what airlines are you? So this is unfortunate. Anyway, so such instances do happen. Okay, so that will be really spoiling your day. So here, Munindra Nukule, if you want to avoid all this, so the person says, Gangataranga Kanashikara Shitalani Vidyadhara Dhyushita Charu Shilatalani Sthananikim Himavata Pralayangatani Yet Savamana Parapinda Rata Manushya. Savamana means all these humiliations. Savamana Parapinda. See, something he gives. Therefore, many people are like this. Okay. For small money that they have to earn, I have seen the laborers also. Supervisors will shout, sometimes they may kick. Savamana Parapinda Rataha Manushya. So here that fellow says, hey, why are you just facing all this insult? Why don't you go and stay on the banks of the river, enjoying the beautiful breeze of Ganga and the water that it splashes upon you? Okay. Ganga, Taranga. So have those places disappeared? Why are you suffering here? Why not go and spend some time there? So that is how the verse goes. See? So there is very Munindranukula. See, that reminded me of this. Okay. For them, so that is how it is. Ganga Taranga Kanashikara Shitalani. He says, Ganga Taranga Kanashikara Shitalani. So the stones that are there, they all provide you a very beautiful, cool platform to sit. And they are clean and they are cool for you to sit nicely. Ganga Taranga Kanashikara Shitalani. And not only that, Vidyadhara Dhyushita Charu Shila Talani. The great people have come and spent time there. Vidyadharadi Adi Ushita means they have stayed. They have spent time there. Vidyadharadhyushita charushilatalani sthanani kim himavatah pralayangatani. See, have those places disappeared? Not, that is not the case. Why don't you go instead of suffering here? Sthanani kim himavatah pralayangatani yat savamana parapindarata manushya. Anyway, see, Munindra Nukule Sugandhakhya Shaile. Go and spend some time on the rock and a tree in the mountain. So this is Anukula Pradesha. And he further says, Mahambodhitire Mahapapachore. See, these two phrases, the phrases have been beautifully presented by Bhagavatpada to us. See, Mahambodhitire Mahapapachore. Ambodhitira, Mahambodhi normally means Mahambodhi, one should just take it as Samudra. But any huge river, mighty river can also be described as Mahambodhi. Bodhi means reservoir of water. Okay. Mahambodhitire Mahapapachore. So this Mahapapachore can be taken as a qualifier to Mahambodhitira. Okay. So Mahapapachore. So Papachora means the one which snatches away the sins. Okay. So Mahapapachore Mahambodhitire. We can think of how does this Tira become Mahapapachora? This we need to understand a little bit. In fact, this Tira, these places, just now I chanted this verse, no? So in those Tiras, great people live. Okay. The moment you go in association of great people, your mind also gets purified. Your mind also gets purified. That is why in those days, this is considered as a very important thing. Tirtha Yatra. See, Tirtha Yatra, you see. So Tirtha Yatra means this Mahambodhi Tira only. So any Tirtha you go, whether it is Ganga, whether it is this, whether it is there, there will be a huge reservoir of water. On the banks you will find. On the banks of those rivers reside great people who have purified their hearts by penance. And the moment you go in association with them, you are thought to commit. Okay, crimes may also go, and that will give you an immense solace and satisfaction. So this Mahapapachora, so this Tirtha itself is Mahapapachora. Okay. So Mahambodhi, in fact, there is a nice verse, no? We have this Bhavadvida Bhagavataha. In fact, Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani. Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani. Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani. Bhavadvidha Bhagavataha. So that's why this Yudhishthira tells, I think Suta, so you are great people. Okay. You are great people by what? Because of meditating Ishvara in your minds. So, and this, because of this, you are purified. And since you are purified, you purify the waters. So, Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani means those holy places are made holy by their presence. And they are holy by themselves because they keep Lord in their minds. So, that is the whole idea. See, Mahambodhitire Mahapapachore Munindranukure Sugandhakhya Shaile. So either it is that or it is that. See, there are two things, right? So Ambodhi Tire Mahapapachore Munindranukule Sugandhakhya Shili. The previous three verses describe both. Guhayam Basantam Svabhasa Lasantam. See, Guhayam Basantam. See? So the one who is staying inside a guha. So in the hills, so you may think of a guha in which he resides. So any sheltered place so can be conceived as a guha. Guhayam Basantam. So you are, guha means normally the light may not enter deeply. Then he says Swabhasa Lasantam. See, you shine. Guhayam Basantam Swabhasa Lasantam Janartim Harantam. So what do you do? Jananam Artihi Janartihi. So Artihi means pains, mental afflictions is called Arti. So Janartim Harantam, snatching away the afflictions of the people. Shrayamo Guhantam. So the one who is residing on the top of the mountain, the one who is residing on the shores of the sea. So that Guham Swabhasa Lasantam Shrayamaha. Shrayamaha means Ashrayamaha. So let us take refuge in him. Shrayamo Guhamtam. So let us take refuge in that Guha. So that is what he says. Read. Maham Bodhi Tire Mahapapachore Munindranukule Sugandhakhya Shaile Guhayam Vasantam Swabhasa Lasantam Janartim Harantam Shrayamo Guhantam. So Subrahmanya thinks that I should provide a comfortable place for people to come and meditate. So our people go and pollute those places also. So Munindranukula, Anukula Pradesha, so for those things is that. So it is important to understand that those places have to be maintained. So Tirtha Pradesha. Okay, I think we'll stop here. Om Sarve Sukhina Santu, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.